A value stream map is a great business tool. It's a great way to isolate, communicate, and quantify what you're doing that adds value versus what you're doing that is waste. Value stream mapping came out of lean manufacturing, but it's incredibly useful. It's commonly used in a lot of industries. It's especially useful in healthcare and surprisingly financial services. So let's walk through a simple example of a value stream map from a manufacturing facility. Let's say you work for a motorcycle company, but the company's not making enough money. Something is screwing up your profits. Let's figure out what's going on. In your assembly plant, as it turns out, you've only got 2% value added time, the rest is all waste. Well, how does that happen? Where could that be? Let's identify it. Let's say that you make 10 motorcycles per day. The time it takes from the time the parts roll off the truck until they go out the door as a finished product, it's a finished motorcycle, is 10 days. And let's say it costs $20,000 per bike. All right, pretty simple costs here. Let's make the map. We start with a customer, this little Bart-looking Simpson symbol over here. Now in this case, the customer is the dealership. What value do you provide to the dealership? Moving parts around the factory or around the assembly plant had zero value. The value you add is assembling the parts. That's it. Everything else is waste. So let's get back to the map. We have identified our customer. A note goes to the office, and then you say to your suppliers, we need parts. In a value stream map, remember, information, right to left, process, left to right. First thing that happens, stuff comes in on a truck. Well, that's a truck, that's a pretty common symbol. And then it comes to your warehouse. It sits in the warehouse because you want to have enough inventory so you don't have to shut down. You want to have some safety stock, and you have 5 days worth. So that's $1 million. The next big processing step is the pre-assembly, where you put the components together. And you're pretty good at this, and it takes about 2 hours. And then you have a whole lot of work in progress waiting for the next step. Let's say you have $100,000 worth of pre-assemblies ready to go. The next big step, you install the engines and the drivetrains. So you're pretty good here. You get a bunch of these done, and then you have a whole lot of these ready to go, these partially assembled bikes. And let's say you have $500,000 worth of this stuff ready to go. The next big step, you add the finishing touches, the wiring harnesses, the decals, the logos, all the cool stuff. Yeah, brakes, kind of important. And let's say you have $400,000 worth of finished bikes. You got 20 bikes done, ready to go in this triangle here. So where is the value versus where is the waste? Let's look at a timeline. Stuff comes in off the truck, and by the time it leaves, it takes 10 days. Where is your value? Look at the spikes in the sawtooth. 2 hours for the pre-assembly, 1 hour for the engine, and then 2 hours for the wiring harnesses and the electrical. 5 hours of value added time divided by 240 hours that you've had this stuff, and what do you get? 2% value added time. The rest, it's all waste. Now you have a value stream map that shows you where you're adding value, where your waste is. Now we can talk about where your money's going, now that we can see this. We have $2 million in inventory. Well, that's a lot. So look at all this work in progress. We have inventory, work in progress, and finished goods. $2 million sitting there, tied up in inventory. What could you do if you freed up that capital? And that inventory costs you a lot of money. Let's start with financing. Suppose your cost of capital is 10%. All right, it's costing you 200 grand a year just to own this inventory and work in progress. Floor space in your factory, in your warehouse, that ain't cheap. Moving it around costs a lot of money too. Every fork truck costs you $100,000 per year. Now if we look here, if we look at all this inventory, we can say we have $2 million tied up, but it's costing us 500 grand a year just to have this stuff. Well, there's all your profits. $500,000, to me that's still a lot of money. With a value stream map, you can see where all your profits are going, why you're not making money. So, if you like this value stream map, it's a great tool. Give us a call. We'll show you some of the best practices. We'll show you how you can use a value stream map to isolate the value added versus the waste at your company. We'll walk you through the entire process. We will help you get your costs down and your profits up.